Working with SQL databases, the basics. Relational databases are a very important part of the IT industry today, probably the most important part. So Golang provides advanced tools to work with them. Let's look at the code. This is the simplest example I can imagine to demonstrate the work with RDBMS. As always, we start with imports. The SQL package provides the methods to work with RDBMS. The driver, MySQL driver in this case. Note the way that we're importing it. This underscore means we would not be able to call any method of this package. This is because we don't need to call any of them. Driver will never be used directly, but by the SQL package. Yes, you can import more than one driver. We are importing a PostgreSQL driver as the second one. Database driver is not part of the Golang standard library. It has to be installed separately. Drivers exist for the number of popular relational databases, and for some not relational. Some of the drivers are the C library's bindings though, like both Oracle ones. Some constants we will use later, db_URI, is a target database address, and max results is a limit for the query. I'll explain later. Database access handler creation. Important, this is not a handler to the connection, but to the automatically maintained connection pool. This will also be explained later. Pool size can be controlled with these methods. Set max open connections, set max idle connections, and set con max lifetime. Note, the driver name we've passed to the open method. This is how the particular driver will be chosen. Name itself is hard-coded inside the driver and must be copy-pasted from the driver documentation. Let's query something from the database. I've already created and stuffed one with some data. Query method is quite simple outside, but quite complicated inside. Under the hood, it will take a connection from the pool, prepare the statement provided, bind the parameters provided to the prepared statement. The number of parameters and their types will be verified during bind. It will execute the statement, release the connection back to the pool, and return an iterable result set. And here's the result set. This is how we will iterate it over. This is how the data extracted from the row will be placed to some variable. Again, the number of targets and their types will be checked with runtime. Result set must be closed, then iteration is finished. Let's print the data we've got. Exec method is working almost the same as query, except it returns an interface object with two methods. Last insert ID and rows affected. The names speak for themselves. The last thing I would like to show you today is working with transactions. First of all, we have to get a transaction handler. Note, connection will be taken from the pool to create the transaction and will not be released until the transaction is closed, committed, or rolled back. Then we can do almost the same thing as we did before. Exec a statement using a transaction handler and read the result. Finally, let's close this transaction. So let's run the program. Awesome, no errors. Here's the data from the table we've used for testing. Of course, SQL package is not simple enough to be explained in a short screencast, so let's remember to read the documentation. Thank you.